Salutations, my Fallout lovers. It is Matty here today bringing you a Fallout 4 wishlist video. Now, before anything, be sure to check out the link in the description of my previous video. That is a Fallout 4 discussion video on whether or not Fallout needs to upgrade its shooting mechanics in the next installment of the franchise. Anyways, this series is created by your comments, so be sure to let me know in the comments section down below what you would like to see in the next installment of the Fallout franchise. If your comment is awesome enough, you will be featured along with two other commenters, just like Anti-Hero. He says, "No monuments in New Vegas." I guess we're not counting the Hoover Dam for some reason. Anyways, a feature I would like to see in the next Fallout is bullet time. In case you don't know what that is, basically it's a mod that instead of using VATS, it puts the game in slow motion to give you an advantage over your target, and it uses action points while it keeps you from abusing it. I love VATS when I'm really in a tight spot, but in ordinary combat, it's a nice way of making epic kills, but without completely stopping the action. This guy put it perfectly, okay? We know it's not Max Payne or anything, but if you have not heard of the mod, the Fallout Wanderers Edition, then by all means, please check that out. It's like a Fallout mod that almost anyone who owns Fallout 3 on the PC, except moi, has installed, and it basically changes the game up completely. But one feature it adds is what he mentioned here, which is bullet time, and like he said, it slows down time. Now, like I said, I know this isn't Max Payne, ladies and gentlemen, but I've always been trying to think of that extra layer of gameplay that could give Fallout that extra step, and I think that bullet time would be one of those things. Maybe like a separate bar instead of always taking from the action points. Maybe there's a separate bar so that I can kind of alternate between VATS and then going into bullet time afterwards or something like that. But he makes a great point here. When it's ordinary combat where it's me versus a raider or two, sometimes I just don't want to stop the action and use VATS. I want to keep going and I want to keep moving. But even if it's slower, I think bullet time would actually be a great fit in Fallout. Personally, I know some hardcore fans are rolling their eyes out there, but personally, I think it's not that bad of an idea. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and let's move on to the next wish from Mandy Martin. He says, "I think what we need is more fluid combat. Combat felt really stiff in Fallout 3, and I think we need more fluid character animations too. I also think this conversation shouldn't pause the entire game. I hated how when you talk to someone in the game, everything kind of froze and whoever was attacking you immediately just stopped and waited until you were done talking." Now, you don't have to worry about that second one, Mandy, because they fixed that in Skyrim, so we will be okay. But what I like about what you said is the combat animations. Now, we've discussed the animations and we mainly focused on walking and running and how it looks and how it's kind of artificial. It doesn't look real. And I feel like combat animations are something Bethesda is going to really step their game up in, because I look at a game, a next-gen only game, and some people, once again, may roll their eyes, but it's Dead Rising 3. And what's special about Dead Rising 3 is it's next gen in the way where this game is packed to the freaking brim with combat animations. If you've played that game, you can agree with me that every weapon in that game, and there are a ton of them, I'm pretty sure there's hundreds, each weapon has a separate combat animation that makes it unique. And that's one thing that Fallout had. It doesn't matter what I was holding, each weapon swung the same way, and I really didn't like that. It felt fake. So, you know, even in Skyrim's a much better example where you swing a mace, it looks the same animation. You swing a sword, looks the same. You know, there's no difference, and I feel like that's something that needs to change when it comes to Fallout, adding more animation so each weapon has their different feel. If I pick up a unique or rare weapon, then give me a special animation for that so it feels like, wow, this weapon really is set apart. Because a lot of the times in Fallout, it seems in both 3 and New Vegas, they're just reskins of these weapons that I can get anywhere. Like the All-American and the Carbine are perfect examples of two weapons that are practically identical. But I just want to go ahead and use that as an example, and I feel like combat animation is something Bethesda will step up. It's almost a given, but I feel like they should use it in a special way to kind of set weapons apart from each other, give weapons certain types, like, okay, this two-handed weapon swings slow but is much more powerful, you know, basic stuff like that. Anyways, moving on to the final wish from 100101, a longtime fan. How are you doing, Zero? Anyways, he says, "I would like more creepy areas to explore. Like in Fallout 3, we had the Dunwich building, which was really cool exploring the story of it. Imagine having more of those. I think it would make sense. If they do, I wouldn't want them to overdo it, though. Keep them coming, Maddie. By the way, this is also inspired by your House of Horrors mod gameplay. I also hope they include another town full of cannibals like they did in Fallout 3. I really like what Naughty Dog did in The Last of Us, and I think that making a quest like that, a longer one in Fallout 3, in a Fallout game would be awesome." Alright, so I really like what he said about creepy areas. Now, I thought I covered creepy areas, but I covered creepy enemies, and I covered creepy areas and scary areas in just my top 4 in Fallout 3 in a completely separate video. And so, yes, creepy areas are something we need in Fallout a lot more. Because I feel like Fallout, we don't realize Fallout can be a scary game. A mod maker, like he said here, House of Horrors mod, a mod maker proved me wrong. You know, he went ahead and showed me, yeah, this game can be scary even when I'm using just pieces that Bethesda gave me. And the Dunwich building is especially very creepy. I wasn't as scared of it as everyone else was, but I still found it very, very frightening to enter there. And, you know, just it's pitch black and you're getting attacked by ghouls and stuff everywhere. I don't know. I would love to see more creepy areas in Fallout where like I'm afraid to enter them, but I know that I want to find out what happened in there. And the Dunwich building is probably the best example of that. It's like I know I'm gonna get a little frightened in here, but I really want to find out the story of what happened in this building. And I think like that type of stuff is what makes Bethesda's world special, because it's not just the story, it's not just the gameplay, it's about the world itself. The world is the character, and I think that's awesome. And giving the world personality, such as a creepy personality, so to say, would be awesome. And I'd like to have a little bit more of it. Don't go overkill. You know, I feel like if there's too much of it, then it's, you know, it's obviously not it's not really an open world game. It's trying to be like a horror game or something like that. But a few more, like, you know, 5, that would be awesome. Just spread across the map where I just stumble upon them would be great. Like one in each corner and then one smack dab in the middle. Who knows? But anyways, those are your 3 Fallout 4 wishes for the week. What do you want to see in the next installment of the franchise? Be sure to let me know in the comments down below. As always, be sure to follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook. Other than that, my Fallout lovers, stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.